Hi, my name's Danny and my channel's called The Normie Perspective. I go through older animes and give my normie uneducated opinion on them. Now today I'm going to be talking about Naruto Shippuden Arc 1, the Kazekage Recovery Mission. Now for anyone that's seen the other episodes in this series, this episode's going to look a little bit different because, fun fact, my camera died and it's not working and I don't know how to get it to work. Because I film off my phone, the quality isn't amazing, but it's kind of the best I've got, and it is just not happening today for reasons that are beyond me. So the next two episodes about Naruto are going to be like this. Maybe you like this style of video. Let me know, please, if you think it's better. I might keep it. Maybe it's a happy accident. Maybe the fates are smiling on me, but I'm gonna say maybe not. So in this series what I do is I watch older anime and then I chat about the plot points, give my opinion on them, and we all have a good time. I am uneducated, I do not know the ways of anime, I am new to anime, so if you're like, you don't know what this thing is called and it's very important to me, I apologize, soz. But we've all got to move on sometimes. Okay, so the first arc of Shippuden starts with Naruto and Sakura. They're in this cave and they're searching for something. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then they start opening doors and shouting Sasuke and you're going, oh, honey, tell me more. And everyone's grown up a bit, which is all fun, but they're searching, and they don't find anything. And then there's a big explosion and they keep running. And then Sakura makes it outside and she sees something and she stops because she was shouting at this dude who we don't know who it is yet. So you're like, okay, Sakura, what have you seen? And then Naruto sees the look of shock on her face and he's like, oh my god, it's Sasuke. So he runs out as well and everybody's looking up at the sky where Sasuke's standing on this hill looking all ethereal and godlike, and it's whoa, dude, what is going on? What have you seen and what have you done? He's got a new outfit on. He's all different now. He's not like most boys now. He's looking like a real TikTok dude. When I popped off, then you gave me just a little bit. You know what I mean? He's proper. He's been through some stuff. It's been it's been about 2.5 to 3 years since they have seen Sasuke. So they sort of have a little chat and are looking at each other. And then Sasuke jumps down after sort of talking to him a bit, and it's pretty much really close to Naruto, and then gets a sword out and then goes to stab him, but we don't know what happens there. Does he stab him, does he not? But then you're in Naruto's head and he's chatting to the Nine Tail, being like, give me your power. Maybe I shouldn't do voices. I don't think I'm qualified enough to do the voices. But anywho, the Nine Tail's yo, give me control. I can do this. And then Sasuke is in Naruto's head. And you're going, whoa, what's gone on then? How have you gotten here? What have you been doing with Orochimaru that means that you can get into people's heads now? This is crazy. And then the Nine Tail saying, hey, you remind me of this other Uchiha boy. I forget the name. And you go, okay, what has happened here? And he's like, yeah, that's a cute story, but I don't care. And then he touches him and the dude just pops like a bubble. And then that's the end of the flash. It's flash forward. I thought it was is this a flashback? What is going on? But it's a flash forward. So when we get back to the present day. So yeah, it's been 2.5 years. Naruto and Jiraiya are coming back to the village after Naruto has had all of his training and been working really hard. So they're come back to the village. Konohamaru, the little boy, he's in ninja school now. He's doing quite well. He's doing some D-rank missions where he's just chasing a cat all the time, which is cute. So everyone's sort of saying, oh my god, Naruto's back. And Sakura also hears about Naruto being back from Konohamaru and goes looking for him. And then we have a moment where Sakura sees Naruto and she gives him a look, and I'm looking at her and I'm going, listen here, that is Hinata's man. Maybe not yet, but I'm holding out hope. Please no spoilers because I don't know what happens, but I will fight you, woman. You made your choice. Sasuke is your choice. Do not come near Naruto. He's a good boy and you're a bit of so do not come near him. So I told her, I'm listen, you back up. I don't know if she listened to me, but I've told her. Well, anyway, they get called to the Hokage's office and Naruto tells the 5th Hokage about the training he's been receiving, and she's like, well, that's impressive. I want to test your strength, so I think you should fight somebody. And we're like, oh, who's he gonna fight? Who's he gonna fight? He's gonna fight Kakashi Sensei, but also with Sakura, so they can like practice being a team again, because it's been a couple of years since they've worked together, which I think is a super cute idea. But what a nice little touch is, because Naruto has been with Jiraiya for so long, Jiraiya must have been writing, and Naruto gives Kakashi a book, an unpublished book by Jiraiya. So that's a cute little gift he's got now, and he's like super excited. He's like, yeah, I've got to like do some stuff. I'll be back with you guys later. So he's just reading his like dirty book and having a good time. You've got to respect the man's game. It's impressive. So anyway, once this happened, he sort of like, Naruto goes around the village and kind of reconnects with everybody that he hasn't seen for a while. Everyone in his class is like Chunin or Jonin, and he is still a Genin, and it's like, oh, he's like dead sad about that, and you can't blame him because he worked so hard for so long, but because he's like not been in the village and he's been training on his own, he hasn't been able to do his Chunin exam yet. So it's like, oh, damn boy, this is upsetting. And then he also gets another kicker, which is that Gaara is now the Kazekage of the Sand Village. So he has a lot of mixed feelings about this, because he is happy for him, but it's like, oh, and I'm still a Genin and you are the Kazekage. And it's just like, dude, he's really sad, but he's like super happy because he kind of cares a lot for Gaara because they're so similar. It's nice, but it's sad for him, but he cares a lot and it's cute. So anyway, while Naruto's gone off and he's talking to all, you know, his old friends and stuff, Pervy Sage is talking to Kakashi about the Akatsuki and how they kind of need to be worried about them, like times coming up where it's all going to kick off. It's near the end of the 3 years. Orochimaru is going to try and take Sasuke. Sasuke's going to want Itachi. It's all just like stuff's going to start kicking off and we're running out of time. And then we move over to the village hidden in the sand. So they're also talking about the dangers of the Akatsuki and just everything else that goes with it and what it means, what are their next moves going to be. Everyone's just a little concerned. One of the members of the council then has a headache, but it's sort of like, oh no, it's fine, I've got a headache, don't worry about it. But obviously, like, as a viewer, you know, something's going on. Something dodgy is going on, and we're going to have to work that out later. And then we go back to where Naruto is in the village hidden in the leaves, and for his test that him and Sakura have to go through, they are going to do the bell test again. And like, I know that I have watched this series in the space of over a couple of months, so it's weird that how nostalgic I felt for something that I saw a couple of months ago, whereas if you'd watched the show when it came out, like, it's been a couple of years and then you see the bell test again and you're like, oh, this is dead cute. But it was just so nice to just do this again. I know it was like, some people go, oh, you're just rehashing stuff. But I'm like, no, it's so nice to see how the characters have grown. Like, before, Naruto couldn't even get a hit in. But, like, you can hear Kakashi saying, oh, God, this used to be a lot easier. So, like, people are growing, people are getting better. And it was just nice to kind of get a reminder of where they were as opposed to where they are now. I really enjoyed that as, like, a little thing that we did. In the bell test as well, Naruto and Sakura, they really proved their skills. Like, I enjoyed what they've done with Sakura character in this arc. Like, she's been training under Lady Tsunade and she is actually like doing stuff. She's got like monster strength and she can heal. And for the first time in the show, I've gone, oh my god, she can actually do stuff. That's exciting. Like, and then we get a couple of flashbacks about her time with Lady Tsunade and her teaching her, don't just run away from stuff. Don't just close your eyes, dodge. You are the medical ninja now. You need to understand what to do, because if she gets hit or hurt, then others could die because she can't heal them. I just felt like it was really good for her character to do that. Naruto has obviously improved greatly as well, and they're still struggling to beat Kakashi, but they're actually like putting up a really good fight. And then Naruto comes up with this idea, and so everyone's like, okay, how are we going to do this? So what he does in the end is run up to Kakashi Sensei and say the ending of the book, because he knows that Kakashi hasn't finished it. So Kakashi like covers his ears because he doesn't want to no. And then he takes the bells. As someone who likes reading and likes TV shows, this is an effective strategy, because if I was watching something or reading something and someone's like, the ending is, you cover your ears and you go, no, I don't want to listen, no, I don't want to listen. But I thought it was fun. It was like a fun little exchange, because I felt like it was a good way for them to beat him without it being, we're more powerful than Kakashi Sensei right now, because I don't think that they are, but they outsmarted him, which is always fun. So while all this is going on, we go over to the village hidden in the sand. And honey, it's all kicking off, because they're concerned about the Akatsuki, but two boys are like on the horizon. They're coming to the village, and you're thinking, who are these mad lads? This is Datara and Sasori. Now, these boys are on the way to the village hidden in the sand, and they are coming for the Kazekage. I believe they reveal it now, or maybe it gets revealed a little bit later. So the reason that they are here now is they are looking for Gaara, who is a Jinchuriki, which is somebody with a fox spirit within them. So this is why they've come to the village. Anyway, Datara and Sora get to the gates, and that dude from earlier with the headache, he is like part of the mission. I think he's been mind controlled to like kill everyone who's like a guard at the front gate. Datara can just get straight in. Datara has a power where it's like his hands have mouths on them, and he chews up like explosive clay. I don't know what my boy's got, but he's got that, and he like chews that up with his hands, and he creates things and then uses those creations to attack people. So he makes a big bird and flies up above the village, and Sasori tells him not to keep him waiting. So while Datara is like looking for Gaara, Sasori is obviously doing something at the front gate, but we can't see him. Datara finds Gaara, and they have this fight, which was so good. I really enjoyed it, because you're thinking, Datara, you dumb you can't beat Gaara. Gaara's like sand dude. He's so cool. So like Datara keeps doing little explosions, little stuff, and Gaara keeps like sending sand coffins and doing like all this cool stuff with Sunny, thinking he's fine. But as the fight goes on, anyway, for me, what I noticed was that I started to get more and more panicked as the fight went on. At first I was like super chill. I'm like, Datara, you got no chance, boy. But then stuff just started happening. I'm going, oh my god, Gaara honey, are you okay? And the reason that Gaara kind of lost this fight was, and a reason I really liked as well, is that now he's not like this heartless monster that everyone painted him as. He's the Kazekage. He cares for his people. So what Datara does is he makes a massive explosive that is going to destroy the village, and Gaara has to save everyone. So he does like this big sand thing that just completely weakens him, and then Datara can steal him. And it's like the only reason he lost is because he wanted to keep everyone else safe. If he had conserved his energy and just saved himself, then he could have probably defeated Datara, but he chose to almost sacrifice himself for his people, and I feel like it's such good character development for Gaara. I really liked it. I loved it, really. It's crazy because on my channel I did a list of my favourite anime boys. I did it a couple of weeks ago, and I'm probably going to have to change that list now that I've watched more Naruto, because I put Gaara in like the lowest tier of people, because last time I saw him he was like a crazy psychopath, and now I'm like, oh, I really like him. He's fun, and I feel for him, and he breaks my heart. Oh, and another like side note, while this fight is going on, Datara loses an arm. Like, he loses an arm in this fight. I've never seen a man so chill about losing an arm, like, ever. So I want to know what's going on there. I don't know why he was so chill about that. So Datara has used this bird, and he's flying away with Gaara. Kankoro, which is like his brother. I don't think it's his real brother. So Kankoro hears about this, and he's running. He's running because he said the Akatsuki has taken his brother. So he is like running. And they see the damage at the front gates where everybody's dead, so they're like, oh my god, what's going on? And an explosion goes off, but Kankuro manages to get to the other side, the outside of the village, and everyone else is trapped within. And Kankuro decides he's just going to run and go and find Gaara, and everyone tells him not to, but he's like, I can't leave Gaara. You know, I've got to go save my brother. This is the Kazekage. I've got to go save him. So even though the people have advised him not to do it, Kankuro's gone. Like, he's running away to go get Gaara. And the village in the sand is panicking because the last time they didn't have a Kazekage, things just went terribly wrong, and wars started, and people attacked their village, and it was all just a lot went on. So So they write a letter to the village hidden in the leaves saying, can you please help us? This is a situation. Because they've kind of been helping each other out since all the stuff that went down in Konoha Crush, that arc, which I think is a nice thing. They could have been really, had a lot of beef about it, but they seem to have chilled out. So while this message is coming to the village hidden in the leaves, Tamiri is meant to be going back to there. She's Gaara's sister. She doesn't know what's happened to Gaara yet, but she's meant to be going home anyway. And Shikamaru wakes up early to escort her out. Are they going to be a thing? I don't know, so don't spoil. But I was like, this is really cute. Shikamaru does not do anything unless he has to or he wants to. And it's he did not have to escort her out of the village. He super wanted to. So that's exciting. I was like, okay, Shikamaru, I see you. We stand a conscientious king. And then we go back. So once all this cute stuff has happened, we go back to the desert where Kankuro is running. And he bumps into Datara and Sasori, and they're like, oh, how you doing, bud? We kind of got your Kazekage here. And he's like, I will kill you and get the Kazekage back. I want my brother back. And then Sasori's like, nah, honey. And they start fighting, and he learns that Sasori is also a puppet master. So you're like, oh, okay. And then as they fight, he learns that Sasori is the Red Sand puppet master, which is this bad dude who did some bad stuff, which is interesting. And we don't know what he's done, but we just know that it's bad. And while this fighting's going on, Sasori poisons Kankuro. And you're going, oh damn, and he did the thing though, so I knew Kankuro was going to be okay, because he goes I could kill you now, or I could let you live for 3 more days and die in agony. I'm going to let you live for 3 more days and die in agony. Because in stories when someone's like, I could kill you now or just let you live for a couple more days and suffer, I'm going to let you suffer, normally they then get to live. So yeah, so I kind of knew that Kankuro was going to be okay, I just didn't know how he was going to be okay. So while this is all going on, the Hokage's got the message from the village hidden in the sand. We need to do something, we need to send somebody. So sends Team Kakashi to go help. So it's Kakashi, Sakura, and Naruto. That is who Team Kakashi is now. There's 3 of them. So they make their way towards the village in the sand. Back in the desert, Kankuro is found by his people, and they can see that the poison is working and they don't know how to stop it in hopes of saving him. On the way back to the village, Kankuro says, when they're like, what happened? He goes, the Red Sand Ninja happened. And everyone's like, dun dun dun. It's real stressful. These people know this is a bad time. So when Kankuro's back in the village and they're trying to heal him and they just can't work out a way to heal him, they think we're going to have to pull out the big guns. And one of the dudes goes up to this temple where he finds Lady Chio, who is one of the badass bitches. I loved this woman. This woman was boss level best bitch. I loved her. And she agrees reluctantly to help them, and she goes down to try and work out what the poison is that is killing Kankuro. So Team 7 is on their way to the village hidden in the sand, and on that journey they see Tamari and they explain to her what's happened, because she doesn't know at this moment what's happened because she's set off before, so she just thinks she's going home now. And then they explain about Gaara being taken, so she's like, damn, we need to get back. So now they're all together. While they're rushing this, Naruto has this real sense that he needs to do this. He needs to save Gaara because they are one and the same. And it's so sad because you can tell that he feels like they're really bonded because they're both Jinchuriki, and it's just oh, dude, please stop, it hurts every one of my senses. It's too emotional. So Datara and Sasori finally make it back to we'll call it headquarters, but this cave with Gaara, and all the boys are there, but they're not really there. They're holograms. It's Skype, but Naruto Skype or Zoom. It's essentially Zoom is what these boys are doing. They're on a Zoom call and they start the process of sucking out the Jinchuriki soul that's in Gaara. So that it becomes this ticking time bomb for the next couple of episodes, which is super stressful because you're watching them slowly take out the soul, and they say it's 3 days it's going to take to suck out this soul, but we all need to be here for 3 days. And you're going, oh my God, please make it in time to Team 7, please. So they make it to the Team 7 make it to the village, and Sakura hears about what's happened to Kankuro and tries to help him and manages to heal him, makes an antidote for the poison, and everyone's super impressed because no one would have been able to do that apart from Lady Tsunade, but she's been trained under Tsunade, so that's why she could do that. And another thing, when they get there, Lady Chio goes crazy. at Kakashi. She's like, you white-fanged devil, you're a monster. And Kakashi's like, no, you got the wrong person, you got the wrong person. And they say to her, listen, that's not who you think it is. It's, the copy ninja, it's not the White Fang of the Leaf. And she goes, oh, fine, my mistake. So you sort of wonder what's gone on with the White Fang. But we learn later on that the White Fang killed her daughter, and like, it was either her son or daughter, whichever, basically killed her grandchildren's parents. So it's like, whoa, fucked up. So the Hokage, Lady Tsunade, hears about the bad stuff that's going on, and Team Guy make it back from their mission that's gone well. So she says, okay, can you please go to the village hidden in the sand and help them out, because I think it's going to go bad. Also, the White Fang was Kakashi's dad, which is like, okay, we're learning more about this family. And then we also learn that Lady Chiyo, when Sakura heals Kankuro, Lady Chiyo had some beef with Tsunade because Sakura reminds her of Tsunade. Like, any poison Lady Chiyo did, Tsunade would work out an antidote for it, and it used to just piss her off so much. And it's because Sakura is obviously a student, so she's been trained under her. And this big debate starts in the Sand Village of like, right, we need to go get the Kazekage. And they say, no, we can't go, because if we go, we leave the village vulnerable and people could attack us. And then this is what happened all those years ago. We have to just pick a new leader. We can't leave it to chance. So they're arguing about that. So they say, well, why doesn't Team Kakashi go? And then at least, somebody's gone. And then we can work out our troubles here. Lady Chiyo insists that she is going to go as well, but they kind of can't say anything. And she's like, yeah, I'm going. Bye. Bye, I'm out. Like, she needs like that sunglasses meme. Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. Explosions behind her. She's really cool. I liked her. I liked her a lot. So the Akatsuki get word that people are coming to get Gaara back. So they send out Shark Boy. So they send Shark Boy after Team Guy, and they send Itachi after Team Kakashi. So Shark Boy versus Team Guy. Guy, you gotta love the dude. You have to love the dude. The dude is love, the dude is life. Because they start fighting, and he's like, Shark Boy's like, yo, you remember me, don't you, right? And he's like, no. No, I don't remember you. Dude's getting more and more progressively annoyed that does not remember him. He's like, we fought. I remember you. He's like, well, I do not remember you. So he just gets more and more angry, and just like progressively they stop fighting more. So over to Itachi, who is fighting Team Kakashi. And like, obviously Kakashi's like, do not look in this eyes, because he is dangerous. Like, do not do it, please, for the love of God, man, don't do it. So they all agree not to do it, but Itachi manages to do something and puts Naruto under his spell, and like making him see all this and it's really like freaking Naruto out. There's a bit where like people are coming out of his stomach, people are on his arms, like stuff's just growing out of him, and it's like, whoa. So Naruto kind of works this out, that he is under a spell and that he can't get out of it on his own. He tries to like release, like do the thing release, but it doesn't work. So he hopes from like a flashback that Jiraiya taught him that his teammates can help use their chakra to get him out of there. And they do. Like Team Kakashi manages to get him out there and then kill what they think is Itachi. But then when he's dead, it's like, we'll call it a glamour. I know it's not a glamour, but it's the word that's in my mind. Then the glamour fades and the dude's body that is there like reveals itself. So Itachi was like using this dude's body to attack them. So he was nowhere near them. They never killed him. He got to learn a lot about them, and they think they've killed him, used all their strength, but actually he's not even there. So over at Guy's fight, Shark Boy's put all of the students under this water thing. They're like in water balls. Then Guy opens the sixth gate, so he like gets them all out of those water balls, and he's like fighting Shark Boy, and then he wins. And then they learn the exact same thing, that this was not who they were actually fighting. They were fighting somebody else that was being used as a puppet, basically. So the team gets back together. They start running towards where Gaara is. And on the way, they learn that if a Jinchuriki's soul is taken, the host will die. So this like adds more pressure to Naruto. He's like, I've got to go find Gaara. Why is it always Gaara that is hurt? Why is it always Gaara that gets this terrible stuff happening to him? Back at the village hidden in the sand, they're arguing about finding a new Kazekage. Obviously, like, Tamari and Kankuro going, no, we have a Kazekage, we just need to save him. And everyone else is like, he probably is already dead, we need to get a new one. So again, we go back to Naruto's group, and Lady Chiyo is like telling them things that has happened, and she says that she was the one who sealed that spirit into Gaara, which, I don't know, it's hard because it kind of makes Naruto angry because she was the one that inflicted all this suffering onto Gaara, but you can tell she feels super guilty about it. Like, she, while spending time with the people like from the village hidden in the leaves, she's really growing, which I liked. She started super angry at them and like, villagers do not care about each other, it's all fake, and then she's seeing people care and she's getting like progressively like softer, and it's just nice. It's just a nice thing to see. And all this is going on, we get flashes each time of like Gaara's Jinchuriki soul being like sucked out, and then it happens. Like, he's empty, it's done, he's dead on the ground, they've got all the soul. And the Akatsuki are like, sound, job done for the day, tra. And Data and Sasori are like there and they're like, cool, we'll take on the people that are coming and kill them. Whoa. Like, it was so much. You're going, oh my god, please don't do this. This is so sad. Gaara, no. I don't like how sad it is. Please stop this show. It hurts my soul. Please. So anyway, Team Guy and Team Kakashi make it to where Gaara is, and there's like, it's sealed, the places. So they work out that they need to peel off these like bits of paper that's got like a sealing spell on it, and then they'll be able to break into the cave where Gaara is. So Team Guy break the seals in 4 different locations because you have to like take them all off at the same time. So they use like walkie-talkies and stuff and do it at the same time. But when they release them, a copy of themselves gets made that they then have to fight. So then you've got to kind of like beat yourself in order to win. So they can't help out Team Kakashi because they are stuck doing that. So the cave opens and we see Datara and Sasori there with Gaara's dead body, and Naruto just loses it. He's so angry that he's like, why, you know, he wanted to make it there, he wanted to save Gaara, and he literally couldn't do it. So they like mock him for a bit, like Data is like sitting on Gaara's dead body and like poking and flicking him and stuff, and Naruto's just losing it. And the reason that Data is doing this because he knows that Naruto is also Jinchuriki, so he's thinking, we can get 2 in one day, like this is a good thing, we could do this. So Data distracts Naruto, leading him away, and Kakashi's like, oh my god, what do I do now? Do I look after Sakura or do I look after Naruto? And Sakura's like, just go, you know, look after Naruto, whatever. So he follows Naruto, and Naruto's obviously following Data, which is exactly what Data wants, because he's so mad about everything that's happened. So then we get Sasori versus Sakura and Lady Chiyo, which as a fight was so... Okay, now let me think about this. I don't know if it's been one of my favourite fights, because it might have been, because I can't think of all the fights I've seen, but I feel like it was so good because it had so many layers to it, because I think Sakura in the show Naruto, not Naruto Shippuden, she was really weak and a bit pointless, and people are going to get really mad because they're like, Sakura's really cool. I'm like, no, she was like so annoying and such a waste of screen time when my girl Hinata could have had more. So she always used to kind of wind me up, and she was not very, I don't know, I just didn't like it. And then she had this fight, and it was like, at first I'm thinking, oh, who's going to come and save her? And then I realised nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. And she had to do it with Lady Chiyo. And they fought together. And there's so many good moments, like the fact that Lady Chiyo was using Sakura as a puppet at one point, which was so, like, such a good idea. I never even thought, because Lady Chiyo's got more battle experience, but Sakura's got the strength, because they're thinking if they can just land a hit on him, then they could win. Also, little fun side note, which I forgot to say ages ago, because I'm stupid. Sasori is Lady Chiyo's grandson. I forgot to say that. That's a thing that's happening. So this is like, it's got a lot of layers. This fight has a lot of layers going on, and I found this the most intriguing. So during this part of the show, you have Sakura fighting Sasori, obviously Lady Chiyo's there as well. You've got Naruto and Kakashi chasing after Data, and then you've got Team Guy fighting themselves. So you're sort of going in between all these fights, but the one that I was interested the most about was Sakura and Lady Chiyo versus Sasori. That was one that kept me the most intrigued because I was convinced that she was just not going to do well, and then she just was doing well and doing stuff, and you're thinking, wow, okay, this is amazing. The fight as well between them, I'm just going to talk about this one for a minute. I'm not going to talk about all at the same time because it's all going on at the same time, all these fights are, but I'll just talk about them individually because I'm going to get myself confused. So Sasori versus Sakura, and obviously Lady Chiyo is there as well. The moments that I really liked is that when what we learned about it is like Sakura actually doing some really good stuff. She was being a ninja, she was fighting, she was dodging, she was being tactical, which I loved for her. I thought this was such a good arc for her to do all that. Lady Chiyo being this hard-faced woman, and then as it slowly gets on, she really does care for Sakura. Like, every time Sakura gets hurt, she's obviously like screaming, oh my god, like, Sakura, please be okay. And then we learn about Sasori, who is like trapped the souls of people, like trapped people, and used them as puppets. Like, he's taken their bodies and made them into living puppets, which is dark AF. And also, he was the one who killed the third Kazekage, I believe that's right, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. And like the reason that so many people died, they had that huge war because the third Kazekage disappeared and he was the one that took them. And you're going, oh my god, you son of a And then I loved one of my favourite moments in this whole thing is where I believe it's Sakura lands a hit on him and then his outer shell breaks because that Sasori that we saw at the start, he's like used a bigger puppet to hide himself. Damn, I didn't think Sasori looked like that, and I could tell that Sakura didn't think Sasori looked like that. She was like, oh hello, how are you today? He's beautiful. He didn't have a right to be that beautiful. And Lady Chiyo was like, oh my god, he hasn't aged. So then I'm going, what the fuck is going on the show? I love it, but I've got no idea what is going on. So it turns out he is also like a puppet and he's trapped his soul in like this thing. Incredible. He uses the third Kazekage, who had this like power called Iron Sand, to like break her puppets and stuff. So everything is just so interesting. And then Lady Chiyo does something which is like, it's savage AF, and I loved it. So when Sasori was a child, his parents died because of the White Fang, and he made puppets of them. She has still got them puppets and like brings those puppets out, and you're going, oh my god, this is crazy. And I fucking loved it. I loved it so much. It was so interesting to me. And then near the end, they have this like display of power of what it means to be a puppet master, and it's so cool because Lady Chiyo's like hidden scroll, gets his scroll out and uses all these puppets. She's like, I've destroyed villages, I've destroyed cities with these puppets. I'm gonna kill you because you've gone too far. So she's got like 10 puppets on the go, which is insane if you think about it. Like one puppet per finger that she's controlling. And then Sasori's like, huh, cute, and then brings out all these other puppets, and so that's like puppets just fighting. And I always remember at first when they brought out the puppet master as like a thing in the show, I was like, I don't know how good that is, because I think Kankuro fought, what's his name, Shino? Fuck, dude, so many names. Bug Boy. Whatever. I'm so sorry. People get so mad because I don't know the names of stuff, but I'm an idiot, so that's my problem. So I'm stupid. So when those two fought, and it was like he didn't do that well and he got beaten pretty, not easily, but it kind of didn't feel like a massive issue. I want to say Shino. To Bug Boy. It didn't feel like a massive issue to Bug Boy, so I was kind of like, nah, how good can this power be? And then this arc, they just displayed how amazing being a puppet master is when you like can get down to it and you do all the bits. It was so epic. That last fight between them was so good. Like, there was poison, there was multiple puppets, it was just an orgy for your eyes. I couldn't describe it as anything else. It was just so much going on, and I loved every second of it. And like, Sakura's been poisoned, and she made an antidote because, like, obviously she saved Kankuro, then she made a couple of extras. So she's been poisoned, and Lady Chiyo is trying to help her as well, putting her chakra into Sakura to, like, save her, but Sakura, like, uses a bit and then takes the antidote and is like, okay. But they do such a cool thing in this fight as well. I keep rambling on about this fight, where it's like, oh, you think you've won? And you're like, yes! Lady Chiyo, Sakura, you've won it! Woo! Best bitches in the show! And then he just fucking wakes up again. And you see like their faces and they're like, he's back again. What do we do? Oh, it was just so good. It's like storytelling. I just fucking loved that fight. It was so stressful. And so like, yeah, you won. You beat that and then that just goes, nah, and gets back up again. And you can't believe it. I may have enjoyed that fight too much, but hey. So we're over to Data and Naruto and Kakashi. They're like running over this cavernous thing, a cavern if you will. I don't know where they're going because there's like tree trunks through this whole thing, but they go for like a couple of episodes. I'm thinking, where the are you going? So Data obviously wants Naruto and he's trying to get rid of Kakashi, but Kakashi's just a G. You know what I mean? He's just such a hardcore G that he can't get rid of him. And then Kakashi's like talking to Naruto again. I got a plan, but I've got to like store up some chakra. I'm not like you, sis. I can't just like get shit done all the time. I gotta like warm up a minute. Give us a sec. So then Kakashi manages to use his like leveled up Sharingan, which kind of makes like a black hole thing, a portal to somewhere else, which is like such a cool idea. But can you imagine, like, because say he's like getting rid of an explosion, which he does do later in the show. I was thinking, can you imagine, you know, you send it somewhere else? What if you send it to like the village? You know, it feels like unless you know exactly where that is going, it's a dangerous leveled up Sharingan. So, oh yeah, and also while this is all going on, he loses another arm. My boy loses another arm. He's so chill about the fact he's losing arms. I'm intrigued to see what they do with him. So Deidara is obviously, they're having this little to-do. And Naruto's getting like progressively more and more angry. And then we see Naruto with the fox cloak, which is basically like the Ninetales spirit is kind of escaping. The chakra is so strong, it's kind of coming out of his body. But Jiraiya has warned him that yes, this may look like it's protecting Naruto, but it's actually like fucking killing him. It's burning his fucking flesh away. It's so dangerous. Do not let him lose himself to that, because he will just go crazy and kill people. He just gets really angry, so just do not let him do that. So Data is like kind of hiding. He's lost his two arms now. And then Naruto's still fuming, and he kind of attacks Kakashi Sensei. So Kakashi Sensei, using the slip of paper that Jiraiya gave him, it's like a seal, puts on Naruto and makes him calm down. It like reduces the Ninetales chakra. So you're like, whew, damn, we're okay, boys. Team Guy has been fighting their dudes. This was like my least favourite thing, and the reason I didn't like it as much is because I felt like you needed them there for the show, because you needed them to do that breaking the seal thing. That's why they were there. But like Sakura, Lady Chiyo, Sasori fight, it felt like it added to the story. The Naruto, Kakashi, Data fight, it felt like it, you know, it gave a bit more detail about Kakashi with his new leveled up Sharingan. It helped with Naruto's character development with the cloaked Ninetales, so we got to know what that was like. As a viewer, we understand, okay, this is what happens when Naruto loses his, like, control. He starts getting super violent towards people he, for all intents and purposes, cares about. But their fight was just, I felt like for something for them to do, because they needed to be there for the end. They needed to be there for the start. They just didn't have anything to do for the middle, so they thought, give them this as like a little bit of something for them to do for a couple episodes. It was interesting. I liked it, but it just felt like it was just filler for them while the real story was happening. Because I've seen the next arc and the stuff that's happening in those, like Sakura's situation and Naruto's situation, it kind of feels like it gets brought up again. Whereas what's happening with Team Guy, I feel like it never gets brought up again and is never mentioned. So it's just a bit meh. It's fine, but it's meh. So as a last-ditch attempt to get away, Data tries to blow them up, but Kakashi uses his new eye trick to like absorb the explosion, like I was saying earlier. So I don't know where that explosion went. You imagine it's like just gone to a village and Kakashi Sensei's just like killed a village. I don't know. It just seems like a dangerous move to make. Like this arm just got dropped off and then the village explodes. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's good. It's a good ability because it sends it somewhere else. But if you don't know where that's going, it seems dangerous. So Data, I think he manages to get away in the end, but he obviously leaves Gaara's body behind. Because, you know, they've got what they need. They've got the Jinchuriki. Sasori's dead as well. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I got so excited about talking about other stuff. Sasori is dead. and he told Sakura that in 10 days he's going to see a spy at the Tenchi Bridge, and the spy who's working with Orochimaru, and he's going to tell him some information. So 10 days, this bridge, go if you want. Because you beat me, here's some info, honey. Which I really liked. I thought was super good. So back to where we were, because I got distracted again. Lady Chiyo sees that Gaara is dead. Yeah. And Naruto's like super upset. He's like, this shouldn't have happened. We let him down. And Lady Chiyo goes over to Gaara and she starts doing something. And Naruto's like, leave him alone. He's dead. And Sakura's like, nah, let it do it, dude. Let it do it. So what Lady Chiyo is doing is giving her life for Gaara to get his back. It was like a technique that she learnt, because what I believe she was going to do was give it to one of her children so that they could come back and be with Sasori, because like obviously he was her grandson and she wanted to make him happy. And it's just like, fuck. This show, man, it like hurts my soul sometimes. I love it, but it hurts me in a good way. So Lady Chiyo like starts putting all her energy, her chakra, into Gaara, and she's like, I can't do it, I can't finish, like I'm not strong enough, because she gave some of her chakra to Sakura to make it better. And then Naruto comes along and he's like, yo, I got all the chakra in the world, dude, have some of mine, and like helps her, and Gaara manages to like come back to life, and Lady Chiyo dies. Fuck, dude, it's so sad. Why is it so sad? It's just upsetting. It's just really upsetting. I love it, but I'm saddened by it. It's just like, oh, shit. Lady Chiyo for the show was such a good little addition. I really enjoyed this arc with her in. Anyway, basically the end of the arc consists of Gaara waking up, he's alive again, and they make it back to the village. Obviously he's still a Kazekage, and Team 7 and Team Guy have to go back to the village, back to their own village. Like the mission is kind of a success. Most people got away. So my overall thoughts on this arc, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it had some amazing elements, as in like the stuff that happened with Sakura was so good for her and for the story. I felt like it really added some layers to the story. So this is my thing, like I really, really enjoyed it. It was good, but the previous arc for me was like a 10, whereas this was like a 9.5. You know what I mean? Like it was just a little bit lower, like just a smidge, just like the smallest of smidges, bit lower. I don't know why, but just if you're asking me, I don't know why you'd ask me, but if you're asking me, that is what I feel like. Yeah. I liked the other one just the tiniest bit more, but I really enjoyed this one. And Lady Chiyo, best. Okay, favorite characters. Number 1, Lady Chiyo. Number 2, she gets a spot one time only. I doubt she'll ever see it again, so she best be grateful. But we're going to give it to Sakura, because, like, she earned it. You know, I will give credit where credit is due. She earned it this time. Even though she's a dumb and I hate her most of the day. But she did well. Number 3, we always got to have him on the list. Kashi Sensei, best boy, doing some fun stuff, doing some fun things. Number 4. Oh my god. I'm going to put Guy here because Guy is fun. We've got to love Guy. Guy is love, Guy is life. And then number 5 has to be... I'm going to put Gaara here. I feel like maybe he deserved a bit higher, but just everyone did such a good job. And he was dead for half the arc, so I can't boost him too high. Honey, if you weren't dead for half an arc, you'd have been higher, but you were, so... Yeah, so I really enjoyed him. I loved this arc. It was super good. I feel like some characters had some amazing moments, and yeah, all the love to them. Super good arc, 9.5. Yeah, I will see you for the next arc, which is the... what bridge? It's a something bridge. Something happens on a bridge. The Tenchi Bridge Reconnaissance Mission. It's easy for me to say. That's what that is. So I'm going to watch that. I'm going to review that next. It's going to be like this again, where there's no camera, because sometimes we've got a bulk film, honey. Stuff goes on. But yeah, lovely. Thank you for getting this far. It means a lot to me. Ciao for now. Have a nice day.